Live from KSAT 12, the 6 o'clock news starts right now.
Just a simple walk proving to be a dangerous experience for a teenage girl.
San Antonio police say that someone snatched that 16-year-old from a Northside side street, then sexually assaulted her.
Katrina Weber shows us how she got help and what police are doing to get her attacker off the streets.
It's not quite a needle in a haystack, but evidence in a grassy field that San Antonio police hope to find. They poured through that gated area off Ritterman Road, not far from Gibbs Sprawl, after a teenage girl told them it was where a stranger carried out an attack on her.
She said she was picked up a couple of miles away at near her home, which is a couple of miles east of here, and brought over here and sexually assaulted.
The news had officers flooding into that area and beyond, looking for the man who struck in the middle of the morning, just before 9 o'clock. Forcing the 16-year-old into his car as she walked down the street.
You don't know where the girl was going, if she was headed to school or anything?
I don't know where she was going, but she had just left home.
Police described the man as about 5 feet 5 inches tall and dressed in blue jeans and a work shirt, possibly a construction worker. They say after attacking the girl, he drove off in a beige-colored car. The teen walked away, heading down Ritterman, where she flagged down someone who called for help.
Police are still working out all the details about how this teen was attacked, but they say a good rule of thumb when you're out in public is to make sure you know what's happening around you. Don't get distracted by things like your phone, and don't shut out the world with earbuds in both ears.
With a bit of luck, police hope they will soon be following the trail of the attacker and getting him off the streets before he can strike again. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Life in prison without the possibility of parole. That's the punishment for the man who was retried in the death of a 75-year-old woman back in 2015. It took a jury 4 hours to convict R.C. Curtis for killing Paula Boyd. And this ends an almost 10-year ordeal that included delays and also a mistrial in 2021. Most of Boyd's family is relieved by the verdict, but the victim's oldest sister, who also happens to be Curtis's mother-in-law, was not happy with this.
They made him seem like he was some kind of monster, but he's not. He's a good-hearted man, and he would not harm my mom. And the ones who really did harm her, they'll come to light.
Curtis was automatically sentenced to life in prison today without the possibility of parole, and he is expected to appeal.
What does justice look like to you in this case?
For everyone involved to be held accountable, for them to get time, for them to have to go to prison.
What does justice look like? A mother talking about the suspects involved in the murder of her son, 14-year-old Simone Cuevas. One of those suspects shot himself in the head today. This is 20-year-old Cesar Tiarina. Police in Laredo say he shot himself at a home there about 4:30 this morning. He didn't die. In fact, he was airlifted to a hospital here in San Antonio. His condition is not known at this time. Now, this all stems from this incident. It happened back on April 16th near Brewer Academy. It's surveillance video showing a group of suspects following Cuevas as he left that school. He was beaten, then shot before he was taken to a hospital where he later died. We mentioned Tiarina, a suspect in his death. He's not the only one. We know last week, 18-year-old Fernando Flores was arrested in connection with Cuevas' death. This is his picture. Police say there are 5 suspects in all who planned the attack on Cuevas. One of those suspects still on the run. His name has not been released because he is a minor.
No charges for the woman who was arrested earlier this week during an Edgewood ISD school board meeting. We told you about this. You may remember the video that you're about to see here. It shows Maribel Gardea being escorted out of the meeting after going over her time limit during public comment. That was Tuesday night. And records indicate that Gardea was charged with criminal trespass, resisting arrest, and interrupting a meeting or procession. But then today, the district attorney dropped those charges. Gardea is one of several people who wanted to talk in that meeting about bullying and also communication issues within the school district.
There is a search on at this hour to try and find a three-year-old little girl. Bexar County Sheriff's officers say Aurora Bajorquez was last seen on July 7th. Her mother, Amber Heveland, is wanted in connection with Aurora's disappearance. Authorities believe Heveland is driving a white 2013 Dodge Caravan with the Texas license plate number WFB 8035. Child Protective Services actually set to remove Aurora from her mother's custody because of a previous assault. When CPS arrived at that home yesterday, both the mother and the daughter were gone. If you know where deputies can find little Aurora, call the Bexar County Sheriff's Office at 210-335-6000.
In other news now, tonight, one woman finds a purpose for something that, frankly, many of us would think to get rid of. You've seen all those images of all the debris throughout the hill country that was left there after last month's flood. Well, many neighbors understandably removed it, but one woman said, hold on. She put some of that debris to good use, and it's paying off. Nature is everywhere you look at the Riverside Nature Center in Kerrville. From birds to insects to plants. The 5-acre property is a year-round wildlife sanctuary. But lately, something's different.
Normally, you're not having to bushwhack through things.
That's Becky Etzler, executive director of the Riverside Nature Center, who says that now
We're lush, we're green.
And overgrown. A far cry from the days after the July 4th floods when we first met Becky, and she was devastated by the destruction and the loss of life.
Trees down, plants just under, probably 8 inches of just silt and mud. It was just heart-wrenching.
So how did we get from here to here? Becky says before the flood, the plants at the Riverside Nature Center looked nothing like this. So in her mind, there is no doubt that the flood and all the debris that it left behind is what led to all this overgrowth. It's the debris in particular that Becky treated like treasure.
If it was inorganic, it got taken away. But if it was anything that was,
trees, branches,
grass, leaves, anything like that, that we just worked it down into as a mulch.
Because it was so nutrient dense, the plants absorbed it. And weeks later,
the blooms are just, all over the place.
Just in time for the start of September, when the Riverside Nature Center reopens to the public. So maybe there's a lesson in it for all of us. Next time that you see branches, leaves, or grass on your property, just consider keeping them, because if you rake them onto flower beds, vegetable gardens, or even around trees, they're going to break down over time and then add nutrients to the soil.
Good lesson in all that. All right, let's go to TransGuide right now, and we have a developing situation. Looks like there's some sort of an accident out there. This is a busy area anyway. This is I-10 in Callahan westbound. I believe we're actually looking at the eastbound lanes there, but you can see near the actually Hero truck, a couple of police vehicles, and then what looks like an accident. A tow truck looks like it may be on the scene, about to take that car out of the way and hopefully open up this very busy intersection again. This is I-10 at Callahan.
But before public money is spent, working families deserve transparency and accountability.
Do you know what cures poverty? Economic development, jobs, opportunity, new businesses.
It was a passionate meeting yesterday as San Antonio City Council approved a funding deal for a new Spurs arena.
Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones and others have questioned whether the city knows the true costs and benefits of a downtown arena. But then you have the business community, which has been one of the project's loudest cheerleaders.
So where do you weigh in on all this? We want to hear from you about whether you support using public money for a new arena. You can vote right now on our online poll by scanning the QR code on your screen or by visiting ksat.com/poll. Pretty close right now. 54% say yes, 46% say no.
So we're going to do something. We're going to keep this up while you vote. Our Garrett Berger is going to tell us why businesses at Hemisphere say that they are loudly cheering, "Go Spurs, go."
At the corner of South Alamo and Cesar Chavez, Hemisphere businesses are already looking east, waiting for a new Spurs arena to be built.
We do specialize with the, French pastries, okay? So this is actually for Wemby.
This cluster of bars and restaurants is a little over a quarter mile away from the proposed arena site, where the former Institute of Texan Cultures building is being torn down.
So even on that side of Hemisphere, you think that would bring business over here?
Oh yeah, we get people from the Alamo Dome that come here, the tower.
I can't imagine it would do anything less than 25-50% more sales.
They've already been dealing with the years-long construction of South Alamo Street. For a Spurs arena, they'd handle some more.
So a little bit of construction for a greater good, it's acceptable.
A greater good, or at least a greater bottom line.
That too, that helps too.
The plan to fund the arena does include public money from the city of San Antonio and Bexar County.
I think it's a great idea. I think it's going to be a boon to the area. It's going to overall affect San Antonio in a positive way. So I have no problem with that.
It's not going to anything too bad, so I think it's pretty good.
Because from this close, their view of the project looks pretty good.
If we can have all the Spurs coming here once the project is completed, that would be great. Maybe I'm a little biased.
You got big dreams here.
Yes, right. Well, this is America and we're in Texas, right? Everything is bigger, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Even the croissants.
Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Those are big croissants.
Supporters of the proposed Spurs arena aren't hoisting a banner just yet, by the way. The council vote only sets up a framework for future contracts that still need to be drawn up, and the funding deal could still fall apart if voters shoot down the county's share of the cost at the ballot box this November.
Okay, so a lot of moving parts. We want to go back to that poll because we're looking there, and it's even closer right now. 49% of you say yes, but 51% of you say no. And of course, this is an ongoing conversation because obviously this is still going on. We want you to vote and tell us what you think about this, and we'll turn around and share those results tomorrow morning on GMSA.
Yeah, and we'll check the progress out on this whole thing at 10. The final numbers, though, on GMSA. All right, he is bringing awareness with a canvas, paint, and brushes. Why he says the issue of burn pits is life and death for so many veterans.
And we're tracking rain chances not only today, but also throughout the next few days and even the next week or so. I'll take a look at your weekend forecast for what you need to know coming up.
And yes, also coming up, a local woman almost lost her life after getting sick while doing something that a lot of us enjoy doing outside. Experts say that more Texans are getting typhus. So how do you stay safe? We're going to talk about it after the break. Tonight, one woman is recovering from a rare disease that doctors originally thought was the flu. Dana Clark actually had typhus. It sent her to the hospital for 3 weeks. She got it from a flea bite, which she got while she was gardening.
I had been out in the yard pulling up old wildflowers and shaking dust off the roots.
That's what she thinks happened. An infectious disease specialist diagnosed Dana with typhus, and people who have typhus show symptoms like fever, digestive issues, confusion. It's treated with antibiotics, but it can actually end up being deadly in older people. This year, about 550 people in Texas have been diagnosed with typhus, and a doctor with University Health says that that's really high, especially considering that the year isn't over yet. So experts say to be careful whenever you're in areas where you see possums because they can carry typhus. They also say that if you're getting flu-like symptoms and you don't seem to be getting better, you should ask your doctor for a typhus test.
Tonight, decades-long health disparities on display. Neighbors from San Antonio's Southside say cancer clusters, birth defects, and alarming asthma rates are just some of their concerns. That's why they led a tour today with city and county leaders to show areas of high pollution. Our Avery Everett rode along in this Know My Neighborhood update.
A closer look at some of the challenges people who live south of Highway 90 face every single day. We're talking about the environment, air quality, drainage, issues that we've been covering for years here at KSAT. Tonight, a new look at old issues.
Our tours in general became a tool used to say, we exist. We're feeling this, we're all sick. This is what's across our street, this is what's across our fence line, and we think there's a connection there.
We're hoping that the people that were on the bus just learn, and hopefully it'll impact their future decisions.
The bus we rode was full with people with lived experience and also city and county staff. Tonight on the Night Beat, we'll show you the stops that we made on the south side, and we'll tell you the community's call to action. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Now we're going to take things outside and give you a live look with our live cam. 96 degrees. All right, looking a little gray out there. Not as bright and blue as we would like, but we're talking about rain chances. Shelby, what can we expect this weekend?
Well, this weekend's going to be similar to what we saw today, right? Certain areas will see some rain, but most of us will continue to see the temperatures similar to what we saw today. Temperatures sitting in the 90s still at about 6:15, 96 degrees in San Antonio and Pleasanton, 91 in areas of Eagle Pass, but where you see areas just near Gonzales or up in the hill country where it looks a little more orange, well, that's where we're seeing some rain chances and current rain falling through the areas. Now, this is a look at Authority radar right now in San Antonio, tracking a small little cell of some rain, but otherwise most of the rain is just out of our area. And even in the hill country in just western Kerr County and northern Real County, that's where we're tracking a little bit more of those isolated showers. But today we didn't really have that much rainfall. Take a look at the rainfall totals of just the last 12 hours or so. We did have one heavier band of some thunderstorms move through areas near Gonzales, near Luling, and that's where we saw rain up to about an inch or so just along I-10 in between Gonzales and even I-10. And that's going to continue over the next few hours where we're seeing those little pop-ups throughout till about sunset tonight. And once we hit sunset, that's when we're really going to start to see the rain chances diminish right before the 10 p.m. Night Beat show. And otherwise, overnight into tomorrow, just some cloudy skies. Very normal from what we're used to. Now, tomorrow morning at about 7 a.m. right after sunrise, we're still going to see that cloud coverage and a little more humidity, similar to what we see normally every day. But there is a chance maybe of an isolated shower just to the west of us. We're talking near the Rio Grande Valley or even near the Edwards Plateau and, of course, near the coastal plains. But with that, that's going to just be the start of it. And if you get some light isolated showers in the morning, then you might not see that chance for some later showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. So keep that in mind. But even then, as we go throughout the rest of your Saturday afternoon, still tracking that potential and that chance for some quick isolated downpours, similar to what we saw today, similar to what we saw yesterday, especially because we're going to be on the warmer side still in those 90s. So we can start to see some thunderstorms pop up right around lunchtime and really going until the sunset tomorrow. And don't pay attention to the exact location. Although this model is showing that, yes, most of the storms stay to the west of us, we can really see more chances closer to San Antonio. And despite the rain chances, we're still going to be on the warmer side. Now, how warm? Like I mentioned, rain chances can also alter our temperatures by just a few degrees, but we're still expecting to be about 95 degrees in San Antonio. Some areas can feel even warmer, especially with that extra humidity. We're going to start to feel the heat indices feel near triple digits. And not only do we have rain chances tomorrow, we're tracking more rain chances over the next 7 days, talking about half an inch of rainfall accumulation over the next 7 days, maybe even more just to the west of us. Coastal plains normally see more of that moisture, more of that just Gulf moisture to give us those more chances of some heavier rainfall accumulation. So that's where we're tracking about an inch or more. But once again, this is over the next 7 days. So we'll keep you posted on the exact track and timing, especially because not only we're tracking about a 10 to 20% chance of rain today and tomorrow, we're tracking off and on showers and quick brief downpours over the next week. We're talking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and even on days it's only about a 10% chance. That's on days we're expecting them to just be right outside of the viewing area, or even then just come in maybe for a quick hour of showers and then quickly move out. And where we see the rain chances, we might be sitting just a few degrees cooler, not in those mid to upper 90s.
Okay, Shelby, thank you.
All right, we are less than a week away from the start of college football.
Yes.
That's Saturday.
Yes.
High school football Thursday.
Yes, we got the Pigskin Classic on Thursday. Then, of course, we have a whole slew of games on Friday, including New Braunfels Unicorns, who will open up the regular season against Madison. Coming up, we're going to go up to New Braunfels to check in with the Unicorns as they get ready for the season. And we've also got some high school volleyball today. Churchill dominating once again coming up.
lot of energy, a lot of effort, a lot of excitement right now.
Sounds like fall camp is going great for Coach Mulder and his Unicorns in big board sports. We continue our big game coverage previews with New Braunfels, where the Unicorns practice under those morning lights. Last season, the Unicorns had 9 wins and 4 losses. They went 5-2 in district play while finishing their season as regional semifinalists. They are predicted to finish 3rd in District 13 5A D1 per Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Head coach Brad Mulder is entering his 2nd season with the Unicorns and says his guys have bought into his plan.
It is. I felt like this year coming into our fall camp that I felt like I wasn't doing as much, but I wasn't having to fix as much because the standard is there. The kids understand it. The kids are holding themselves accountable to it. So it was good to see that it's sinking in and that our leaders are applying it and helping the team, go in the right direction.
I think the stamp he's put on the program is added a lot more effort to our team. I feel like he's added like a fire we needed. Yes, sir.
Man, he's just been a big father figure to all of us, and it's been amazing what he's been doing for our program. So I think it's just really seeing what it is to be a Unicorn over here as soon as he's got here. So it's big.
Down in the trenches, I love that shot. New Braunfels will open the season 1 week from tonight at home with the Madison Mavericks. The Churchill Chargers are the 4th best high school volleyball team in the city, according to maxpreps.com. And at Piper Middle School today, they were taking on the Sotomayor Wildcats. The Chargers took the first set thanks to spinning serves like this one from Jillian Casas. In the second set, Soto's Addison England answers back with a huge spike, but Nina Karam would seal the win for the Chargers, who are closer than ever this season.
We're all really connected, and I feel like we all like each other. Last year was a lot of cliques, and this year it's okay, we're all in a conversation, we all are just so happy together, and it's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling.
I feel like it's more trust, and it's everyone's best friends with each other, and we're all friends, and it's it just makes it more fun. I think having more fun on the court makes it easier to play with each other.
Churchill's theme this season comes from the Hunger Games, but their motto is not safe for TV.
That we like to beat people. We have this one thing I'm not gonna say on TV, but we just like to beat people. So yeah.
Lucy mentioned, we want to beat people, and that's not the phrase that they use, and that's not the phrase that I use with them either. But the Hunger Games is all about fight to the death, and there will be one lone survivor. That's what high school sports is. At the end of the season, there is one team that wins state, and we are here to compete for that spot.
Love it. Over at the high school, Piper was taking on Long Creek, and the Warriors were able to take care of business in the first set as Adewika finishes with a huge spike.
I wouldn't change a thing about this team. I'm proud of them, win, lose, or draw, and I'm excited to go to battle with them.
College football is here, baby. Coach Killo and his Incarnate Cardinals will open the season tomorrow at high noon at Nichols on ESPN2, a Southland Conference matchup right out of the gate.
He wouldn't change a thing.
Nope.
That's a song, I think.
It is.
Yeah. Doubt they play it very much at Incarnate Word football games.
I was just going to ask you to sing it.
I don't know that I can remember exactly everything.
We'll be right back.
Celine Dion, is that who it is?
Then you must know how it goes.
Part of their story that they told me was spending 5 nights on the stairs of the Capitol in Washington, D.C. as they got rained on. They were exposed to the elements. It took them 5 days for them to get anybody to sort of listen to them and get their message across. And I wanted to sort of highlight this in the painting, the stairs of the Capitol building.
The couple he's referring to is Army veteran Leroy Torres and his wife Rosie. They made it their mission to help veterans suffering from exposure to burn pits during the global war on terror. There will be a gala in Austin to help raise funds and awareness for service members struggling to get the health care and benefits they need. One local veteran and artist doing his part to help share that. Abraham Cavadas spoke to our producer Daniel Villanueva and photojournalist Adam Higgins to learn more about the messages that lie behind this painting called Hill to Die On.
I wanted it to be a little bit more distinct and powerful. I used a paint roller to do the stars and stripes back there. And when it came time to do the stars, it's got to be something a little bit more powerful, a little bit more profound. And so I imprinted my own personal dog tag. Got the skulls on there that symbolizes a lot of the death that's been recorded and reported over the last couple years of cancers and sicknesses that veterans are getting because of the exposure to the toxic burn pits. The graves, the soldier crosses, it's all in commemoration of the warrior. It's all beneath the main mission, and the main point of it is to kind of rise above it and rise up and keep going. Right after 9/11, the U.S. entered Iraq and Afghanistan and started building bases, and those bases quickly started producing a lot of waste. And so the quickest and cheapest way for the U.S. military to get rid of all that waste is to dig giant landfills outside of all the bases and light it all on fire. I still remember the smell of burning tires and burning plastic and burning ammo and burning trash and diesel fuel and battery acid and all kinds of equipment that they threw in there just to dispose of it.
What does burning ammo smell like?
Oh, it's a very heavy metallic smell. It smells like black charred metal is entering into your lungs and bloodstream, which it is. The symptoms were there with us when we got back from Iraq. I remember several of us kind of having breathing complications and coughing up debris for a few weeks after our return from Iraq in 2011. You know, back then you're not going to medical, you're not going to the hospital, you're not recording it. You don't want to bench yourself, right? Because when you do that in the military while you're in the Army, it's very, it's frowned upon. We're all young. We're all super macho and invincible at that time, and nothing's going to stop us. It's not until years later we start feeling it and really wanting to do something about it. I like that it's going to something noble. That's probably the best part of it. I'm in service to it. I still have that spirit of a soldier, and that soldier needs a mission, and this is one of my missions here.
A powerful painting, a powerful message. Ghost's painting will be auctioned off at the Gala of Valor, protecting the promise of the PACT Act, October 12th at Austin's Bullock, Texas State Museum. Registration ends September 30th. Tickets, you can find them at burnpits360.org. If you would like to see this painting yourself, you can visit the VFW Post 76. It'll be there until September 7th. Stay with us. We're back after this.
This one here, that's when I first started with Southwest Coca-Cola. This is the 80s, and this one is the 90s.
That man spent more than 50 years driving a truck for Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, and now he is saying goodbye to his home away from home.
Does he look familiar? July 23rd officially marks 55 years of service for Hector Gonzalez. Next month, Hector will retire as the company's longest tenured employee. You may have seen him in those commercials they've been running.
Yeah, so our Stephanie Cerna spoke with Hector about his lifelong career, and maybe you're wondering, how did it start? Well, she gets into that.
That was like your first year of work, 1970.
Yes.
So do you,
yes, ma'am.
Do you remember your first your year or your first day?
Yeah, like yesterday. I came to apply. Well, of course, I filled out the application. They asked me if I was ready to start. I said, sure, I'm ready. There we go. Orders to load on the trucks.
That same day, after Hector Gonzalez filled out his application, he started working for Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. And more than 55 years later, Hector is still here.
I loved working for Coca-Cola. I love being a big truck driver. I love going out into the field, meeting new people, building rapport with customers.
During his more than half a century with the company, Hector has driven more than 1.4 million miles, averaging about 100 miles per day. So his dream of being a truck driver turned into a lifelong career.
Going back to 1970 when you first started here, could you imagine at that time that you would be here more than 50 years?
One of the managers here told me that he saw my application, and there was a question on there, how long do you plan to work here? And it put on there for a long time, and I'm still here.
And through that time, Hector has had the support of his family, his wife Nancy, their 3 children, 9 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren.
I started working for Coke Southwest in July of 1970, and in January of 71, I married my sweetheart, and we've been together ever since.
Hector is now one of the lead drivers, still taking pride in everything he does and inspiring other drivers and coworkers along the way.
I love my job, and when you love what you're doing, it comes easy.
Stephanie Cerna, KSAT 12 News.
In 50 years.
Just imagine how many cans and bottles of Coke Hector has delivered in his 55 years.
I hope all of them are ice cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing better than that when it's hot outside.
Yeah, congratulations to Hector. And you might have seen the commercial that he's on where everybody pays tribute to him through how they came together because of Coca-Cola.
We've had many of warm days where you definitely want to just grab an ice cold Coca-Cola. We've had 16 days this year where we've been 100 degrees or more, but this weekend we aren't getting to 100. We're staying in those 90s, 95 degrees on Saturday, but then Sunday we're warming up just a tad, but we're still going to be hot. We're still going to be humid with an isolated rain chance. I'll talk about your weekend forecast for you coming up after the break.
Friday. How about some SA Vibes? That's our digital series where we showcase local musicians performing their original music, and they also share their stories with us.
Yeah, we've got a brand new feature this week, and this band just released their new single today. Check out part of our SA Vibes with Roshi.
We're on the road to New Mexico.
I wanted to write like a different style of music, and the current band I was in back then didn't really want to do that. So thankfully Edgar joined in because I needed a drummer, and then JJ was a really good singer and guitarist. We made him play guitar, and then recently, as of 2 years ago, we had these guys join up, and they've been doing really good helping us out with all the new music. I think some of the primary influences like Minus the Bear, Tiny Moving Parts, Hot Mulligan. Me and Edgar are really into like J-Rock and like anything anime sounding adjacent.
I was actually in a death metal band before. It's funny where it'll take you. You start off in death metal in San Antonio in 2012 and you end up in a math rock band or indie. There's no other way. Or dream pop, that's what it is, and shoegaze.
I think when people think about San Antonio, they think about like Tejano and country. And there is everything here if you look for it.
Roshi's new single, Dear Mark, available anywhere you stream music. That's the song you just heard at the end of that clip. And they've got a show next Friday, August 5th at 502 Bar with a stacked local lineup. The show starts at 9 p.m. It's $10 at the door for ages 21 and up. And by the way, if you want to catch any of our SA Vibes, you can do so by hitting this QR code.
Yeah, that'll take you straight to our SA Vibes page on KSAT.com. By the way, we also have this on our YouTube page and on the KSAT Plus app.
I'm feeling the SA Vibes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You always are. Yeah.
I am. Yeah. By the way, I am kind of not looking forward to next week for many reasons.
The vibes are still going to be good.
The vibes will still be good. They'll be grateful vibes, but it's going to be warm.
It is.
I know you thought I was talking about my last broadcast at KSAT, which is next Wednesday, but I'm talking about the warmth, you know, before that.
We'll still have good vibes we'll be a little sad, but we'll still have good vibes. Now, with the temperatures, we're still going to be very seasonable. Still a few degrees cooler than what we're used to seeing, though. Right now, we're sitting at about 96 degrees in San Antonio. And over the next few hours, we're going to continue to see the air temperature decrease, but also the rain chances. Still seeing some light rain showers out in areas of South Texas, but they're continuing to diminish. And similar to tomorrow, you're waking up in those 70s, already near 90 degrees by lunchtime, seeing more warmer temperatures in the afternoon, but only getting to 95 degrees. Still, where you see the chance of some showers and some storms in the afternoon, that's where we're going to be sitting a few degrees cooler in just maybe even those upper 80s at times. And the reason we're seeing the storms in areas across South Texas, but also across even other portions of the country, is because of this heat high, that big blue H. Normally, every year, we get that big blue H just sitting in areas of either San Antonio or across the state. This year, it's been mostly just going well to the north of us, and right now it's just sitting in areas of the Four Corners, and we're getting a little bit of that loop around moisture, giving us the chance of some showers and storms today and over the next few days. But that big blue H, because it's been sitting just to the north of us, we've only hit about 16 days this year where we've gotten to 100 degrees. Just take a look at what we got in 2023. This was the year, so in the total, they got to 75 days in 2023. Even last year, we got to about 27 days here in San Antonio. In 2021, just 3 days alone. So normally we're seeing at least a few degrees, or at least our temperature a little on the warmer side, as our average temperature normally for how many days we see, or we're normally seeing about 18 days where we're seeing 100 degrees or warmer. Now, because we're seeing that big blue H just go to the north of us, it's not really being the main weather maker to keep all of that rain out of our neck of the woods. We're still seeing those rain chances only about a 10 to 20% over the next week or so, and not everyone's going to see it. If you're near the coastal plains, you'll see a greater chance at some of the rain showers, but we still need the rain. This is the latest drought monitor as of yesterday. The main difference is Medina Lake, or Medina County specifically, including Medina Lake. All of the county, for the most part, was in that exceptional drought, that almost that maroon color. That's continued to just be the southeastern corner, and even the northwestern corner of Atascosa County, and even then in the Hill Country in Kerr County, they're not even abnormally dry. So we are still seeing some improvements with how much rain we're actually seeing. And this is how much rain we need to end the drought. If you take a 6-month period and just do the data, thanks to the NCEI, we need about 15 inches for portions of the Hill Country over a 6-month period to get rid of the drought. In areas just to the south, we need about 17, and including Bexar County and Medina County, because they're still in that exceptional drought, we need about 25 inches basically along the I-35 corridor and to the east, including areas of the across the coastal plains, 25 inches of rain. Now, with the rain we're seeing, we're not expecting 20 or even 15 inches of rain. It's going to be very isolated. Some areas can see a brief heavy downpour, giving them an inch or two at times, but it will be very isolated. Not everyone is going to see it, so you'll want to stay tuned, and we'll keep you posted on the latest with the temperatures and the rain chances.
All right, thank you, and we'll be right back after this.
All right, it is time for KSAT Sports Now. It comes your way at 7 o'clock right after this newscast. And we're going to talk about some firsts and some seconds. Like
yes.
Part 2.
Yes, part 2. Owen McCown sat down with Mary Rominger not too long ago. Today, we're going to get to know him a little more on a personal level. What did he learn from playing behind Frank Harris for a couple of years? Josh's Owen's love for the Spurs. He's really about the silver and black. And his dad is Josh. What did he learn from his dad, Josh, who is now a quarterbacks coach with the Minnesota Vikings?
All right, who is number 1 in high school football? Who has that target on their back? We're going to find out that as well.
Tonight we are breaking out our brand new 12's Top 12. This year we're doing it a little different. We've always had a 6A and a 5A, but now we're separating them. So we're going to have a 6A class, a 5A group, and we're also doing a sub 5A, which also includes private schools.
Yeah. And you're going to have your first in-studio guest.
Yep, our first live guest, this guy right here. It's his last Friday in the KSAT newsroom. So we're going to reminisce about your time here, including all the times you've helped us in sports cover the Spurs.
Well, and there were some great memories, man.
Absolutely.
I mean, you and I go back a little ways.
We do.
There's some great memories, especially when it comes to Spurs and celebrations and all that good stuff.
Yep.
Hot dog eating contests.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Twinkie eating contests. You name it, eating contests, all that. All right, KSAT Sports Now comes your way at 7 o'clock. Any way you stream KSAT. We'll be right back.
Continuing to see a few showers pop up in the hill country and along the frontal boundary, so we'll keep you posted, but they'll diminish by around sunset tonight.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the night feed.
I'll see you on KSAT Sports Now next.
That's right.